Neil Hendrickson, Glenmark Road Environmental Commission here. One thing I would like to add is that in the numbers that have been thrown around, it has been strictly a matter of the value of the land as developable or whatever, but there's plenty of data in this world to support the ecological benefits that this land provides. It may be too late in many ways, in many areas, because development has taken away the trees, and it is also plenty of data, plenty of research too, that has established that larger trees, you refer to old growth, I might say it's second growth, but it's very large trees. Very large trees sequester more carbon, clean more air, do more photosynthesis, retain more water, retain more runoff. As the environment is changing, whether people believe it is or not, these trees have an important ecological value. There are numbers that can be ascribed to this that I'm sure would offset the cost of acquisition in terms of and there are programs that will apply economic values to this and ecological benefits. So I don't think it's fair to ignore the fact that our open spaces deliver considerable ecosystem services to this township in many ways. Cleaning the air, restricting runoff, sequestering carbon, not to mention just providing opportunities. Trees on steep slopes keep the steep slopes there and out of the valleys. So having seen this property and having looked at the trees, the reason it was to be logged is because the trees are big and old. But consider that they also perform other value. There are other values which can be calculated but are a little more obscure. But they should not be overlooked.
Thank you.
Sure. This property became visible to us, I think, about 4 years ago or so. You recall Transco, the pipeline, they went through, I don't know exactly which year, I think it was 2015 is the right date, and they went through, I believe, 4 or 5 township-owned properties, and based on that process, there was a compensation to Readington Township with the proviso that we had to purchase wooded forest land to compensate for the trees they cut down. So they dropped a pipe in the middle of 2 existing pipes. It impacted those properties, and we were able to get about over $500,000. And we purchased a 5-acre old-growth tract, the Reno tract, very quickly, and this was the second one identified. It's on Cushtook Mountain. It's in one of 2 areas that probably have the most valuable trees in Readington. It's really old growth forest. Part of the track is on the ridge. And, you know, I walked it with Neil from Environmental Commission. It is probably the nicest forest land we have other than Round Mountain. So it's an exceptional piece of property. And that's what this is for. So the majority of the money comes from Transco with a little remainder that we've used from.
We're required to pay $308,000 for the 22-acre, which works out to be $14,000 an acre. Okay. And then you're paying $249,000 for the 8.5-acre lot, which works out to be $28,000, $29,000
Okay.
an acre.
And one piece of property is on a steep slope at the top, because you
I understand that.
The other parcel has access to Drahook Road, which makes it more.
But it's not subdivided yet, so therefore that $28,000 should not be considered. And then you're paying for the subdivision, which we shouldn't be doing.
We're not doing a subdivision.
No subdivision.
We're doing a capital review division of the property. Under our capital review ordinance, it says the capital review ordinance under the land use ordinance exempts the township from variance approval or subdivision or site plan approvals. If we are the contract purchaser of the property, we are allowed to divide the property just by a capital improvement review at the planning board. And then
The homeowner should pay for the subdivision and then sell off the 2 lots.
that is not what was agreed to here.
I understand,
And in
but-
many cases, we have not had the owner divide off the property when it's our program. It's our program to divide this property from
Then we shouldn't be paying $28,000 for an acre, we should be paying $14 like the rest of it.
This is what the opinion of this appraiser was.
Okay. That has nothing to do with your friends with her, are you?
No. They approached the township, and it was a piece of property that fit our needs to spend the Transco money. I mean, it's going to get spent somewhere, and this was a valuable piece that was
So we're
good.
going to pay $120,000 more than what it's worth.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we're not paying anything. We're using money that was given to us. It is not costing the taxpayers or the residents of the township anything to acquire this land. We're using Transco money and county funds to do that.
And it was also.
And how do we go through that process then? Because right in the contract, it does say Readington Township money.
The
And you
Transco,
have to get it back from,
well, the Transco money has already been paid. It says in the ordinance that, where do I say? Appropriating $560,000 from the reserve for green acres in the general capital fund. That money was given to the township and has been, by Transco, and has been put in the reserve fund to be used to replace wooded property. So that $560,000 we couldn't have used for a new road. It had to be